Alright, so in this video, hold on. I want to talk about being trans and your mental health during this COVID-19 pandemic that we're all going through and dealing with, and nobody really has any fucking clue what's going on. So let me tell you a little bit about how this affected me. I was scheduled for my top surgery on March 19th, 2020. This was my second date for the surgery. I was originally supposed to have it in September of 2019, but I had to reschedule that for personal and financial reasons. So I did. So what is that, like 6 months? I had to schedule it for like 6 months later. And that's when it comes to something like that you just feel like you've been waiting for since your chest started coming in. You're like, 6 more months? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, it was just, I was so close in September to have to reschedule. It completely crushed me, and it was a really long 6 months. It was a really long 6 months of like, I just need this to happen. I'm not really gonna be okay until this happens. And that's kind of what I kept telling myself, is I'm not gonna be okay until it's done. And I shouldn't have fed myself those thoughts and feelings. I really should have been more, in the big picture, in my spectrum. I was alive for 28 years. What is 6 more months? I'll get through it. And I did. I got to March. I was ready. I was nervous. I was a little scared that, I don't really have a lot of friends and family in the area that I live. So I kind of thought like, oh, I'm going to be alone and it's scary. But at the same time, I was like, just so ready. I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, I'm so close. It's happening. Everything at work was all set. My insurance was all set, my surgeon, everything was great. Everything was on track. And then I believe it was Friday the 13th of March, I got a call saying, oh, this COVID thing is really getting out there, nobody really knows what's going on, yada, yada, yada. We may have to postpone your surgery, we don't know yet, okay? So I'm like, all right. That's bad news, but it's not definite news. Like, they didn't tell me that it's canceled. I'm like, all right, I'll stay positive. Well, we all know how COVID kind of played out. So that Saturday, the hospital had called me. They did all my like pre-intake, everything, yada yada, this and that. And I was thinking like, okay, like, I talked to the lady at the hospital, and she's like, we really just want to keep everything right on schedule. I'm like, oh, okay. So I don't have to worry that much. So that's Saturday. Sunday passes. Of course, I'm like, Monday. Like, I should know Monday, yada, yada, yada. Monday comes and goes. Tuesday comes. St. Patty's Day, in fact. And they tell me, this lucky Irish boy, that my surgery cannot happen due to COVID-19. And my world is crushed. Like, just absolutely fucking crushed. I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna live. Like, I don't want to live. I don't want to keep going. Like, I feel like I keep getting shit on, and I don't want to keep going. So I essentially took a mental health day for myself. I spent some time with some close friends, and just looked at the things in life that are still good, aside from, I have breasts, I don't feel right in my skin, everything else. I took a day to just focus on the things in my life that I really appreciate and that really matter to me, the people that love me, the people that I love. I needed that day to keep myself alive and to keep myself going. And it might really sound silly or extreme to some people, but other people know exactly what I'm talking about. And, you know, I realized, I'm like, I'm not the only dude whose top surgery got canceled. You know, like, I'm not the only person that had something they were looking forward to get canceled. I mean, we've all had several things, a whole bunch of shit. But that doesn't mean that you can't take the good from it and move forward and just try to keep a positive outlook on something that maybe has just crushed you to your core. You know, you feel like it's never gonna happen. I know I certainly felt like, okay, obviously in March we were all like, oh, can't even find toilet paper, can't do, we don't know what is going on. Everybody's like, oh, you'll get it, and I'm like, when? That's my issue. When? You can't tell me when. Nobody can tell me when. We're still at the point now where, like, we don't know when things are gonna be normal again, or seem safe, or anything else, and it's just like, that's so frustrating. I get it, and I was not quarantined. I was an essential employee. I work for a respiratory ventilator producing company, so I had a lot of work, a lot of time to stay busy and distracted, which I'm thankful for, and to make extra money, of course, because now I'm out of work for a little bit. Now I have had my top surgery, so this is what I'm saying. They had rescheduled it for me when they canceled it in March. They rescheduled it to April 16th. I didn't really hold that date set in my heart at all. I really, really didn't. I was like, that's not going to happen. And of course it didn't. They had called me the week before and said, no, this isn't going to work. And then they said, all right, how about May 21st? And I said, all right, cool. And I had a better feeling about that date. And so again, I just kept going day by day. It sucks. Some days are shitty, but every day you're a little bit closer to where you're trying to go, where your goals are, where you want to be. Every day you are a little bit closer, even if it's the worst fucking day, longest day ever, you're still on your way. And it's really important to remember that, and remember that this is just a part of your journey, and it might be sucky and shitty and everything else, but for some reason it's happening to you. And when it's done happening to you, you might see why. And you might not see why right away, but at some point you're gonna see why. And it worked out for me that way a lot. My surgeon called me or got in contact with me about self-quarantining for 2 weeks beforehand for surgery. So my last day of work was May 6th. Because that was my plan, was to self-quarantine. And I went to work, my last day, awesome day. The next day I wake up to a phone call from my surgeon's office. And I'm like, okay, what's this? What's going on? And she goes, can we move your surgery to... And I'm just like, what? No, don't move my surgery. What do you mean? And she goes, can we move your surgery to Monday? And I'm like, what? Monday? And she's like, Monday, May 11th. I'm like, oh yes, we can do that. That's fine with me. No big deal. So that's what happened. I got my surgery even sooner than expected. It's the 5th date I've had for the surgery, but it's done. It's over with. I got it. And I still think back to the day where I was crushed and told it wasn't going to happen. And truly, I mean, however many weeks ago that was, the time has gone by. I've lived every day. I've survived every day. I've been okay. I've been positive, and I've been realistic. And that is what I want to preach right now, is to just keep a positive outlook stay realistic about life. Stay realistic about the shitty parts of it, because they're there. They're not ever going to go anywhere. You're always going to have things that hold you back. You're always going to have these obstacles, hurdles in the road, etc., etc. But the number one thing is that you just keep moving forward and give it your best shot. Give every day your 100% complete effort to try to have a good one. Try to be positive. Love yourself. Appreciate yourself and how far that you've already come. And it should just get better from there. So, thanks for watching.